What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Back at it again with another banger, my friends. So kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
Tennessee upset Iowa last night, man. And I think the most intriguing thing about this matchup is you got two first-year head coaches who are moving on from two of the best players in program history. Rakia Jackson from Tennessee, who starred with the LA Sparks this year in her rookie year. And then for Iowa, Caitlin Clark, a generational talent, starring Rookie of the Year this year in the WNBA. Both teams looking to find their identities with new players and new coaches, man. This was a big-time matchup. I will say, man, Iowa bringing in Lucy Olson was huge, but they have struggled even more than last year with taking care of the basketball. Since Caitlin Clark has left town, they do not have a guard that can truly take care of the basketball, man. They've had over 20 turnovers in consecutive games. And this was a big reason why they blew the lead and lost to Tennessee in this contest. Tennessee, on the other hand, is led by a former South Carolina transfer in Talaysia Cooper, who has absolutely found her second home and is flourishing and lit Iowa up last night. They had no answer for her. So it's definitely exciting to see. Iowa, still a brand, national brand, still a good team, still, ranked in the top 25. And then Tennessee, not really knowing what to expect this season with the new coach and, some new star players embracing larger roles. But Tennessee got a big win, and I was impressed. But this was a superb game, to be honest with y'all. Tennessee won the game 78-68. Now, the game was a lot closer than the scoreboard really shows. They were outshot, actually, by Iowa, 46% to 39%. They did shoot a little bit better from three, but 7 of 29 is pretty gross. 24% from the Volunteers. Iowa, the more aggressive team, getting the paint touches, getting to the cup, left some free throws at the line, as well did Tennessee. Iowa dominated the glass 48-33. They won the assist battle 17-8. Tennessee definitely came up with more defensive plays late, 6 blocks. Also had 18 steals. When you talk about jumping passing lanes and running that full court trap, man, they had Lucy Olson locked in hell. I'm not going to hold y'all. The difference in this game, though, turnovers. Iowa had 30 turnovers. 30. You are not beating anybody. You're not beating the South Harmon Institute of Technology with 30 turnovers, man. They have continued to struggle, these guards, of taking care of the basketball and making good decisions with the rock, man. When they have been pressured full court and have that real pressure on them, Iowa has definitely folded at times, and we've seen it with their guards now, man, where they just definitely have not been able to really break presses or take care of the basketball on a consistent basis. They've scored a lot of points, but they've also given up a lot of points off turnovers and transition as well. And that's really what cost them in this game, to be honest with y'all. And it's honestly surprising because they're such a typical fundamentally sound team, man. But we just haven't seen that this year. I will say, though, Lucy Olson has been super impressive for this group. She leads the way with 23 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists. Addison O'Grady, one of the most improved players in the entire country. Breakout season for her this year. She scores 17 points, grabs 11 rebounds. Hannah Stolke, her scoring has been down a little bit the last couple of games, but she has 8 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Just a well-rounded player for this team that is really just scratching the surface with her team, with her talent, man. I think we're seeing her take on more responsibility and get more touches, and she's been initiating offense for others as well, showing that playmaking ability. Sydney Falter, a big-time player for this team last year, coming back from injury, is still definitely finding her rhythm with this group this season. Hasn't been the player that she was last season. Still hustling, still scrappy, 8 rebounds. They're having a rebound as a team. They're not a super big, physical, imposing team, so they're having a rebound as a team. And honestly, it wasn't the rebounding that cost them this game. It was absolutely, for sure, without a doubt, the turnovers, man. When you look at Lucy Olson, the primary ball handler for this group, she's got to be better at taking care of the basketball. when you look at these other guards that are having to relieve her when she goes to the bench, they've got to be better, more poised at controlling the tempo and not getting flustered by the defensive pressure that teams are built or that are bringing to them, because they completely folded. Tennessee brought them dogs out and definitely just punked Iowa, to be honest with y'all, man. And when you look at the play of Tennessee, man, I mentioned Talasia Cooper, who has just been incredible for them. The South Carolina transfer, she had 23 points in this contest to lead the way. And the redshirt sophomore, man, she's having a breakout year this season, to be honest with y'all. She's averaging 20 points per game, 6.1 rebounds, and 3.6 assists, compared to 2.9 points per game, 1.8 rebounds, and 1.3 assists in her first year of college 2 years ago. But she's definitely found her home at Tennessee. She's an explosive guard, one of the quickest, just nice twitch with the basketball, nice burst off the first step, gets to her spots, really nice mid-range game, fluid jumper, can stop and pop on a dime. She's just a really tough guard, and she's absolutely one of the best guards in the SEC this season. Carrying this Tennessee squad, man, this new look Tennessee squad. Love her game, her ability to handle the basketball, pick her spots, never looks rushed, never looks forced, finds her shots within rhythm. And I love the comeback that she's made. It didn't work out at South Carolina, just like it didn't with Sanaya Rivers, but she's still a former McDonald's All-American 5-star recruit that is showing that she has a lot to offer to the SEC, even if it's not with South Carolina, man. Big time guard, though. Love seeing her find her stride. Ruby Whitehorn, also another piece of that backcourt, 16 points, 1 assist, 2 rebounds. When you talk about Spencer, Whitehorn, and Cooper putting the clamps on those Iowa guards and just completely intimidating them and making things hell for them, bringing the ball up the court, these players were locked in, man. Love Samara Spencer's game as well. She had 16 points. Not a lot of size for Tennessee. And you look at it, man, like they didn't have anybody grab over 7 rebounds, but they spread you out, they play fast, and they shoot a lot of threes, man. So it's an exciting brand of basketball to watch. But I love what I've seen for Talasia Cooper, man. Just big-time player, making big-time plays, leading a program that was looking for an identity, that was looking for a number one scoring option. With the departure of Rakia Jackson, and Cooper has definitely filled that void for this Tennessee squad, and I think they're a lot better than people think. They're still undefeated, and they are going to definitely now be in that top 25 ranking. So don't sleep on them in the SEC. It's a new era, new coach, but the brand and the expectations remain the same. In our second game yesterday, we saw Juju Watkins and Kiki Iriafen continue to be one of the most dynamic duos in the country, getting a big win over Oregon, even though Juju Watkins fouled out in this contest. So USC picked up the rivalry win over Oregon. Two familiar foes who battled it out in the Pac-12 for many years, now battling it out in the Big Ten. Crazy work. But a big win for USC. Ever since that Notre Dame game, they've been rolling. They picked the win up 66-53. Shooting 40.4% from the field, 9 of 25 from 3, dominating the glass against Oregon 45-31. 12 assists for them, 7 blocks. Raya Marshall, Kiki Iriafen, Juju Watkins. Oh my goodness. The turnover is still a problem with 22 turnovers. Nasty work there. But the play of Kiki Iriafen and Juju Watkins, they've been one of the most dynamic duos in the country. Juju, 21 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, and even fouled out this game. With Kennedy Smith out, Kaylee Heckle has entered the starting lineup. As a freshman, man, they need a point guard that's going to control the tempo and be the lead playmaker for this group, so the ball doesn't have to constantly be dominated by Juju Watkins playing pick and roll basketball. Talia Von Ohoffen, we're still waiting to see some breakout games from her. Reagan Beers obviously took a lot of pressure off her at Oregon State. But she played solid, 11 points, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. Kiki Iriafen, 17 points, 12 rebounds. Dominant game for her on both ends. She continues to just be one of their most reliable players down low. Their number one scoring option on the block. Can hit the mid-range. Nice back-to-the-basket game. aggressive on the rebounding aspect of things, uses her length really well, and doesn't have to do all the dirty work because Raya Marshall is there blocking shots, taking dump-offs, finishing the play, grabbed 9 rebounds as well. This is a big front lineup, man. You're going to have to bring your big girl britches when you play against USC for sure. Deja Kelly had 16 in this game as well. Scott with 13, Long with 10. Deja Kelly has definitely been a nice addition, man. I was sad to see her leave North Carolina, but she's been a big addition to Oregon, man. So salute to her, betting on herself, and having a really good year this year for Oregon for the most part. But USC definitely bounced back after that Notre Dame game. Juju Watkins took a lot of criticism for her shot selection. She continues to put up numbers. She continues to have the green light. And they're going to need her to take those shots and make those shots for this team to reach their ceiling of what they have as expectations for a national championship. But they continue to be a dynamic duo, man. Kiki Raven's been one of the best transfers. Huge addition for this group. And you see why she's arguably held everywhere, regarded highly as a top 3 WNBA draft pick. But USC definitely will be moving forward. I'm excited to see this team continue to develop. Hate that Kennedy Smith is out of this lineup, who was a starter for this team as a freshman. But I think Kaylee Heckle will continue to develop at that point guard spot for this group as she gets more confidence and gets more reps with this starting lineup. But that's a wrap for us, man. Y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments. Talk to me, holler at me, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. And definitely follow us on social media at Brandon Lee TV. That is a wrap for us for all the latest and the greatest. I am Brandon Blakeney, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV. Till next time, we out.